Okay, I decided just to do another quick little video, mainly to document my progress and things like that with the I started physical therapy 2 weeks ago, and for my MS. When I saw my neurologist here and my neurologist down at Barrows 3 weeks ago, definitely there's some more progression. Uh, Balance, of course, has gotten worse, and a lot of different things. Just having a lot more problems. So I started physical therapy again. I do usually physical therapy every year, except I missed last year. And that was because the doctors just didn't advise it last year because of a lot of other things. So it's really been 2 years since I've been to physical therapy. And of course, I started 2 weeks ago, but so I was seeing once that week and then once last week, and those were basically just evaluation and some more testing and things like that. So I didn't really get started with actual therapy until today. So it was tough. I'm ready to do this and have been because it's so important. And although physical therapy doesn't really help me a lot, even if it's like a 1% difference, it's all worth it. And it's worth it to just help, with some control and some, and even if I get, like I said, a 1% difference in balance or strength or anything, even for just a short period of time, it's well worth it to kind of keep me mobile. Um, Unfortunately, though, doing all the evaluations, there's definitely a lot of changes since I last did it, and not so good. But I still see the best in everything, and still have hope. There's always hope. Um, you have to have hope, no matter what your situation is. Always, never lose hope. It's so important, and because you just don't know what's ever going to happen, and we don't know what God's plan is for us or anything, and so uh, you got to have hope, and especially to make the best of a situation sometimes. And anyway, it's a little kind of sucks the wind out of my sail a little bit because you don't really think about the progression, and sometimes it can kind of just sneak up on you, and just because it's gradual. I mean, it's just worsens over time. It never gets better, and there's no breaks from it. It's just continuous progression. But it's slope is a progression, and everybody's disease course is different. And I just never expected mine to kind of go as quick as it has. But um, so my function is down quite a bit. Um, Oh, and I do apologize for the sound and the quality of this video. This computer's just not very good, so um, hoping to eventually get something different for this so I can do better videos and for other things too. But anyway, uh, it you don't really think about what's happening because you can't focus on that or you wouldn't get anywhere. It's important just to keep on focusing on the positive things um, and just keep moving forward. And so when, you know, I see the doctors are like this when I go through the physical therapy evaluations, because my whole body is basically evaluated, and because I'm not going for just, one thing or one part of my body, so um, it kind of is a little discouraging when you realize, because that's when I really realized just, how bad things are, as far as, that's, worsening and stuff like that. Um, but so, yeah, it does kind of knock you down a little bit, but you just get right back up and pick yourself back up. And, that's what I do every time. And, I, as crazy as it sounds, I always love doing physical therapy. It's important. It's, obviously it's tough. It's painful. It's tough, and it's tiring. You know, it's a very, very hard work, for this situation. I mean, it's hard work no matter what, when you have to go through physical therapy, but um, there's just so much to it for this disease and stuff too. And then, like I said, it's just, when you don't have a lot of functioning of things, it's just really difficult. I do make the best of it though, and like I said, I'm always happy and actually excited to go through it. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people because, who in their right mind ever wants to do physical therapy? It is tough, and and it hurts. um, and it's not fun, but I think the reason why I enjoy doing it, and I'm always very positive and go in with a great attitude, and I'm just ready to do it every single time, no matter what the situation, and that's because I know that it helps me. Like I said, even if it's only just a tiny, tiny bit, it's worth every second of it. Um, and I do as many visits as the insurance always allows, so I use the maximum. And I definitely don't want to go 2 years in between again. And unfortunately, I can only do it once a year, because of insurance. But um, so 2 years is very too long. And but today I basically use the incumbent cycle, the stepper. It's not like it's not really a cycle, it's the stepper. And, that's what I've always started out with anyway. And then, just did some leg stretches and things like that, to kind of work some of those muscles and stuff, to help with the spasticity. And of course, I do some at home too. So I have my home regimen, and I've always kind of kept up with some um, home therapy of my own. But there was talk. We did discuss the fact that she goes, I know you don't ever want to. She asked me about using a scooter, and I said no, I don't. I just and she says, I know that's something you don't really want to do because you want to stay as mobile as possible, but she says, that is going to be a possibility at some point, and a strong possibility. And, for safety, because it's just, and it is getting more difficult. But definitely because of my drop foot, and I have it actually in both feet, so, and that happens with MS. It's really bad in the left, though, so we did discuss getting what she will order, my therapist will order or recommend or whatever, at some point during this therapy, that for AFOs, which are, It stands for ankle foot orthotic, but basically it's not a true orthotic. Um, it is in a sense because it still fits in your shoe, but the brace kind of goes around. It's kind of more like a brace, and it kind of goes up. It supports the whole bottom part of the leg, but it's for your foot and your ankle, and then, it straps around your leg. These braces will help me walk. It'll help pick up the feet like it's supposed to be. So it helps a little bit more with balance, but it helps prevent falls too. Because with the drop foot, which I have on both sides, but the left is worse, um, that makes falling even more likely. So now it's to the point where, like she has said too, it comes down now to safety. And, there comes to a point in time where I have to start thinking more about my safety, and, with the more and more falls and things like this, and even with the walker, it's just getting to that point where it's not quite enough anymore. But, I do whatever I can to stay as mobile as possible, and, to keep moving is so important. And, it's hard because this disease just takes so much away from you. And you just have to make the best of what you have. And don't, I can't just focus on what I don't have. You just can't do that because it would just make you crazy, and, it would put you down. It's just, you can't move ahead and just keep on going if you just focus on all the negative and all the things that you don't have. So, I'm thankful for every single day that I wake up. I'm obviously, I'm very thankful to God for allowing me to keep moving. At least I'm still moving. So, as long as I'm still able to speak, as long as I'm still able to move, I can still dress myself. I can do, feed myself. I can do those, So there's a lot that I still can do. Just not as well as I used to do them. Obviously there's a lot that I can't do anymore that's been taken away from me. There's things I've had to learn to do differently. Some things I just don't do as well anymore that I do still have, but it's life. This is what I was dealt with, and just have to deal with it, and do the best I can with what I do have, and just keep focusing on the positive, and moving forward each day with hope and faith, and but like I said, it's like my left leg especially has gotten a lot worse, and of course my arms have gotten worse and things like that. So, and then with some new health problems on top of it, which I have to see a new specialist next month, or well, actually in about 2.5, 3 weeks. So, okay, so I had to stop the video for a little bit, start back up. But yeah, so I have to see another specialist again in a couple weeks. And that's for my liver and bile duct problem. So, so I'll be seeing a liver specialist. And so, with more and more health issues arising too, it makes it even harder on the MS itself. And unfortunately, with MS, a lot of times you do have other, health things, and, but, and I deal with, each one, but, um, it just, just kind of makes you feel a little crummier. Makes it a little bit harder, to kind of just do things and just, the fatigue is obviously worse, and so, it makes it a little bit harder to move and everything, but, it's not an easy disease, that's for sure. Um, Not that any disease is easy for that matter. I mean, um, but, I just kind of, this is to help people, I guess, understand and kind of document my journey a little bit too. Um, because it'll help me as well to know what my progression is, or as far as, you know, as far as progress is getting, with with things maybe getting better, or things getting worse. Either way. So, and I just want to try to help others that may be in the same situation, whether they're going through MS, or some other disease that is affecting maybe in some of the same ways, or just with other life situations. If maybe I can help somebody in that way, then great. So, sign off for now, and we'll see where I go from here.